Address to the Congress of the United States of America by Quang Nguyen, Friday, June 3rd, 2016. If I were invited to deliver a speech to the U.S. Congress, it would be something like this one below. I would highly appreciate your serious comments. Thanks a lot in advance. Quang Nguyen, June 3rd, 2016. Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Senators, Honorable House Representatives, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Quang Nguyen. I'm an American. I'm also Vietnamese. I feel honored and humble standing in front of the U.S. government body representing the American people as President of the Republic of Vietnam in exile. The Vietnamese Communist government, led by the Communist Party, never represents the Vietnamese people because the Vietnamese people have never voted for it in a free election. In fact, the Communist Party illegally took over the democratic government of Trần Trọng Kim in 1945, the government of the Republic of Vietnam in 1975, and has brutally ruled the Vietnamese people without their consent. From the United Nations concept of people's self-determination, the Communist government of Vietnam is not legal because the Vietnamese people never at will votes for the Communists to govern the nation. The Communists have never won in a free democratic election anywhere on earth. In fact, the foreign Communists have invaded and colonized North Vietnam since 1954 and the whole country since 1975, seriously violating the 1954 Geneva Agreement as well as the 1973 Paris Accords. The Communists have actually behaved and acted as occupying forces in Vietnam for the past 71 years, ignoring the Vietnamese people's will, their aspirations, and their human dignity. The Communists have ruled with an iron fist, imposing the reign of fear over the country, blocking or putting in prison all opposing voices. Freedom fighters from all over the world have once come to fight communism alongside with the people of Vietnam. About 58,000 Americans have sacrificed their lives in Vietnam to protect the humanity from the wicked doctrine of communism. Hopefully, freedom fighters will once again come and fight communism in Vietnam. Chinese communist aggressors do not only aim to erase the ethnics of Vietnam, but also to threaten the security of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Ho Chi Minh, as commonly known now, is actually a Chinese spy. His name is Ho Wang, a major in the Red Army. He was chosen by Mao Zedong to scheme the colonization of Vietnam by way of communism. Ho Wang disguised himself as Ho Chi Minh, a Vietnamese who had died in a prison in Hong Kong. Then Ho Wang came to Vietnam under the name of Ho Chi Minh to lead the gangsters. Shortly, the Vietnamese Communist Party is not of the people, from the people, or for the people of Vietnam, because it was founded by Mao Zedong, the Chinese leader, who appointed Chinese Major Ho Wang to be the leader of the Vietnamese Communist Party. Due to lack of information about communism, the people of North Vietnam was misled by the communists. But now, after 41 years since Saigon fell and the nation was unified under the communist regime, the Vietnamese people have bitterly experienced the tyranny of communism. Besides, owing to the internet, they have fully known the truth about China's attempt to colonize and to annex Vietnam by way of communism. The Vietnamese people now want human rights and independence from China. All the Vietnamese, except for the communist leaders, do want the United States of America to come back and help them fight against the aggressive communist Chinese and its puppet government, and to help them set up a democratic regime. We, the South Vietnamese nationalists fleeing the country to avoid political and religious persecution, are now residing mainly in the United States. Most of us, if not all, have become U.S. citizens for years. However, we are still Vietnamese and still want to go back to Vietnam if the United States help us to restore the government of the Republic of Vietnam. The inland Vietnamese now do not want to be ruled by the foreign communist occupying forces anymore. They have been suffered from tyranny of communism for more than 70 years. They have been fed up with the brutal communist government for a very long time. They want to fight against this present communist puppet government to be free from the communist occupation and tyranny. Thus, they surely support the restoration of the Republic of Vietnam. We already have different democratic political parties ready to operate and maintain a democratic regime. All we need now is your formal recognition and financial support for a number of years before we could stand on our own feet. As an ally of the United States and other democratic nations, the Republic of Vietnam will ask its allies to come to Vietnam to fight against the Chinese invaders who are illegally occupying Vietnam and proceeding to annex the international waters of the Southeast Asia Sea, threatening the security of the region and the world. Although the Republic of Vietnam has lost its actual territory, it still has a virtual territory because it has been vividly living through its communities all over the world with its flag, the yellow one with 3 horizontal red stripes, national anthem, and patriotism. Above all, the inland Vietnamese people are always longing for the Republic of Vietnam to return. As a matter of fact, according to the international laws, the Republic of Vietnam is alive as a nation de jure. The actual territory of the Republic of Vietnam is invaded and colonized by the foreign communist occupying forces. Once the occupying forces have been driven out, the Republic of Vietnam will be fully restored as a democratic nation again. Vietnam is like a house of our parents. Even though the bad guy, the big bad wolf of China, have illegally taken it over for years and our parents are gone to eternity, the house still belongs to us, the children, as stated by the law of inheritance. Thus, we are entitled to and should be responsible for asking our neighbors to kick out the bullying guy so that we could get back to our house. Hopefully, our neighbors will help us take back our house and fight against the bad guy. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Vice President, ladies and gentlemen, I am deeply grateful standing here in front of the lawmaking body of the U.S. government, which represents the American people. I would solemnly and officially request that the Republic of Vietnam government in exile be recognized and supported by the government of the United States of America. I hope that you will soon approve my request and help us restore the Republic of Vietnam so that the Republic of Vietnam could sign strategic partnership with the U.S., becomes its close ally, and fights alongside with the Americans against the Chinese aggressors to bring about freedom, security, and prosperity to the people of all nations. Thank you very much. In you we trust. May God bless you all. May God bless the people of Vietnam. May God bless the United States of America.